He is a musician. His name is Nick Rolser. How are you, Nick?
Pretty good.
Wonderful to have you here. You were getting some love in the chat room, by the way. Great song, Crashing. That's of the ones that you sent for today. That was my personal favorite.
Oh, thank you.
Love that song. Yeah, that's and you've got a full album, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I have one album out right now.
And where did you record?
I recorded it at the Noise Floor in Dover, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that. Well, of course, so many studios have come and gone over the years, but boy, they got a really great sound out of you. I mean, that's the whole. I listened to several tracks, obviously, and it all sounds really good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a really great spot, the Noise Floor. I highly recommend people look into it if you're a young musician looking for a place to record. It's a great spot. He does a great job.
Is it new or newish? Do you know?
He's been around for a while now.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure how long. Probably at least 10 years, probably longer. But yeah.
It's a cool name, the Noise Floor. I like it. Yeah, tell us a little bit about influences, because I hear some different things in your music, but who influences you?
Yeah, I would say biggest influences are probably, no surprise, Bob Dylan up there. Neil Young. Radiohead is probably a more contemporary influence. Beatles, for sure.
What about any James Taylor?
Not consciously, but
sorry, I got a
see.
little bit of a rough throat there. I apologize. It's dry in here.
No worries.
Yeah, that's to me, that was one of my first thoughts was James Taylor, but I can hear the other. I can definitely hear Radiohead and Dylan. Absolutely. Yeah, you are you as far as your vocals, are you self-taught or did you take lessons?
It's just self-taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed at how many singers I meet who just have really good voices and who are self-taught. That's amazing. How did you learn to sing like that? Like, did you sing along to other music and just kind of because your voice is really good and it's
Thank you.
but it's not just how do I put it? It's not just that it's good on a technical level. It's good in that like I listen to a song like that and it's I don't know, there's a certain character to your voice. It's like some singers can sing something and it sounds really good technically, but you don't necessarily get the same feeling behind what they're singing, if that makes sense. But with your voice, and I noticed it on the other songs too, it's like there's a feeling there, like you can kind of hear the emotion in your voice, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's I would say that's authenticity, probably. You can't really teach that, I guess, but yeah, it sort of comes through. Either it's there or it's not. And I mean, I guess that's why for me, like, some of the greats like Dylan, it's like, technically speaking, a lot of people have a problem with his voice, but I think there's an authenticity to that stuff, especially his stuff in the mid 60s, I think is just absolutely great.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's funny when it comes to Dylan, I personally, I never cared much for his voice either, but he's such an amazing songwriter that you almost, and I don't know if this is common for a lot of people, but if I listen to a Dylan song, it kind of, in a way, and I feel this way sort of about Neil Young too. It almost doesn't matter. Like the voice at a certain point doesn't matter. It's like, for me, I'm not paying attention to the voice. I'm so wrapped up in the song itself. Does that make sense? It's like the song is really good, so it almost doesn't matter what the voice is like. In fact, with Neil Young on a couple of levels, because his voice in and of itself, I don't necessarily like, but again, I get wrapped up in the song, but also his guitar playing in terms of, don't get me wrong, he's a great guitarist, but some of his leads are very strange. but the song itself is so great that somehow it works. So it almost doesn't matter. But, so how many tracks are on the album?
8 tracks.
8 tracks.
Yeah.
And do you, is everything self-written or do you write with anybody else or?
Just all self-written.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And who, you also play guitar, I assume?
Yes. Yeah. I'm playing acoustic guitar on that album. Yeah.
And who else is on the tracks with you?
I got lead guitar, is coming from Rainer Vigneault, who I believe was here.
Oh, Rainer. Yes.
Yeah. maybe last week or so.
with Marvel Prone.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Yep. So he's a great lead player as well. So he's on there. Jake Smith is on drums for a couple of the tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, who else do we have on there? There's some cello in there. There's some flute in there. Can't remember the names of those people who played.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I recorded that album. Well, I released it in 2019. So yeah, it's been a few years.
Oh, okay.
I've been working on a new one, but we're getting there slowly. Hopefully this year at some point.
The nice thing about your style is there's a timelessness to it. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Like some music, you hear it and you can kind of date it to, at the very least, a certain decade, if not even more specific than that. But what you're doing, I wouldn't have guessed it was 2019 or any particular time necessarily. There's a certain, it's just timeless. It could be released at any time. But you said now you're working on some new stuff now?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, back in recording. I've been doing it for a few years now, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
At the Noise Floor as well. And I'm thinking it should be out within hopefully a few months.
Oh, cool. Yeah, when it's out, we'll have you back.
Awesome.
Definitely. Is it the same vibe and style, or anything different about it other than obviously a fresh batch of songs?
Yeah, I would say in some respects it's similar. In others, it's a departure. There's a few tunes that I wrote on the piano for one, so that's definitely different. Overall vibe is definitely different. Songwriting structure and things are a little bit more experimental, I would say.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Is that the Radiohead influence with the experimental part?
Probably.
Yeah. Now, same. Is Rayner also playing on these, or?
He has been playing on a few. Yeah,
cool.
He's on a few of them.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Do you remember? I mean, have you been writing songs from an early age?
Kind of. I this style of songwriting is fairly new to me. I suppose. Yeah, I didn't really start writing until like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is all brand new. But I would write lyrics and whatnot when I was younger, so it was kind of a different approach to the same thing, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you know, like, can you put a number on how many songs you've written total, or approximately, obviously, but
probably, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 songs.
Yeah,
not too many.
So when you went in to record the album, did you have to kind of, was it easy to figure out which 8 it was going to be on this first album, or did you have to kind of, was it difficult to pare it down?
No, it wasn't difficult. It was sort of intuitive. It was kind of just I went by feel. The whole album sort of has a narrative to it, I suppose, on some level. And so each of the songs kind of is me working through something and arriving at a conclusion. So it's sort of almost like a movie in that sense.
Yeah. Does the who records you at the Noise Floor? Who's the engineer?
His name is Chris Chase.
Chris Chase.
Yeah, he's great.
Does he also, because obviously a lot of times in these scenarios, the engineer, whether they mean to or not, whether it's intentional or not, winds up sort of almost acting like a producer as well, like a de facto producer. Is that the case with Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. He's the best of both worlds, I think, because he does act that way, but he's very hands off about it as well.
Yeah.
So he kind of comes in with the right input at the right time.
Yeah.
Which I love.
So he's not trying to control it, but he has suggestions and feedback and input.
Yes, absolutely. He's been doing it for a long time, so he knows kind of when to step in and when to take a back seat, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you know who else he's recorded?
I think Marvel Prone's first album was with them.
Oh, okay.
Trying to think of who else is recorded there. Another great singer-songwriter from the area, his name is Dean Harlem.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so he recorded an album there. Trying to think of anybody else off the top of my head. I think another band named Dalo was an indie band that they
Okay.
I think they recorded
Okay.
there a few years ago. Yeah.
Do you play out? Do you play a lot of shows or?
I haven't been too much within like the past, I don't know, 6 months.
Yeah.
Just sort of been recording, focusing on that.
Yeah. When you because in the area that you are, I mean, it's such a great music scene there. When you do play out, do you do a lot of shows where it's just you? Do you do the solo singer songwriter thing, or does Rainer come and join you, or Jake or somebody or?
Yeah, yeah. A lot. I mean, I love playing with a band.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to do. So I try to do that as much as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I do solo acoustic sets, but for the most part, I really enjoy playing with a band.
What is it that you prefer about a band? Is it just the energy, more energy to it, or?
More energy. It's just collaborative. It's you kind of bounce off of each other's energy, and yeah, that's just so fun to me to kind of do that sort of thing.
What do you do more of? Because obviously, like I know from my own experience in bands, sometimes it's hard with when you're booking shows, with working with everyone's schedule and whatnot. So I mean, do you do a lot of the solo shows too, or what do you do more of?
Yeah, I would say it's probably. I mean, lately I'll do solo sets here and there.
Yeah.
Just because they're easier to book, like as you said. So
yeah.
But when I start really kind of gigging this material, especially the new album when that's out, I definitely plan to do a lot more band gigs.
Yeah, yeah. Is the idea to ultimately have more of a formal, official sort of band for your music, or because it sounds like it's kind of loose right now?
Yeah, it is loose to some degree. Yeah, I think it is pretty interchangeable, which is good. I mean, obviously it is a singer-songwriter. I'm not a band, so that does give me some flexibility.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice because, as you said, it can be difficult to get everybody to be at the same place at the same time. So,
yeah. Even just for rehearsals, let alone live shows, in my experience, certainly.
Absolutely.
The new album that you're working on, will that also be 8 tracks, or is that going to have more songs on it?
I think right now it's 7 tracks.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when have you been already playing some of that material out, or are you waiting until the album is out to do that?
I have been playing it out.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So I'd imagine that's a good way to sort of workshop it in a way, right? So you're more ready when you go into the studio. I mean, are you someone who likes to be like, when you go into the studio to record, do you prefer to be really sort of clear and focused on what the objective is, or do you go in, I mean, because you did mention that Chris will give you ideas and feedback and suggestions, or do you go in a little bit looser where, you kind of know what you want to do, but you're open to whatever. So maybe it's not as okay, we're going to record this song today and we're going to finish it in this 4-hour period.
Yeah, I'm definitely open to other musicians' feedback and ideas.
Yeah.
I have a general, sort of vague impression of where I want to go as a final outcome, and then we sort of, throw some paint at the wall, I guess, and sort of see what direction it takes. But
and that's part of the adventure of it, right? Is of recording, is if you think of it that way and you're open and you're flexible. Have you recorded anything that at the end of it you thought, wow, that's not how I envisioned it. I'm glad it came out this way, but this isn't what I thought it was going to be? Because it's bound to happen someday if it hasn't happened yet. Because it happens to everybody, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Certainly, if it happens, but
I wouldn't say anything that's been like incredibly shocking. I've been pleasantly surprised that certain things did sound the way that I heard in my head.
Yeah,
that's probably the closest thing to that so far.
Sure. Okay, well, let's play another. And by the way, what's the name of the album?
It's called Amor Fati. That's Latin. It means the love of fate.
Love of fate.
Yeah.
What brought you to that title?
I don't know. I think it was some sort of philosophical thing, but I I kind of just liked the sound of it.
Yeah.
It was sort of me, certain point in my life where I was trying to, I don't know, kind of actualize my potential and go in the direction I wanted to go in, and sort of come to terms with who I was and what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of just, that name resonated with that particular period of time, I suppose.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm going to let you pick what. So we played Crashing. What would you like us to play next?
Why don't we play Venus Flytrap?
Venus Flytrap. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yes. All right. Cool. And anything you want us to know about this track before we play it?
No, I'll surprise everybody.
All right. Cool. So we'll give this a listen. So this is Venus Flytrap. Our friend Nick Rolser joins us in studio. Check this out.
Teardrops fall on the deck. Heaven's gates have went unchecked. Coral rays and fluorescence fill the air through an open vent. A fog hangs from overhead, calls your name from your bed. A siren sings her overture. You weren't sure but you noticed that you've fallen way down. There's no way out, it seems. Suddenly you're standing on a scale that never fails, weighing your soul next to a feather. Look down to the ground, you're about 1,000 feet above the clouds, just holding on to thin air. They bring you home and steer you in to where it ends and you begin. A ball of clay, a formless limb, an unobscured amorphous twin. You formulate the words to try to justify for your sins, as a crowd of judges dressed in stolen robes stare down their noses for your skin. Suddenly you're standing on a scale that never fails, weighing your soul next to her feathers. Look down to the ground, you're about 1,000 feet above the clouds, just holding on to thin air.
Very nice. That is Nick Rolser with Venus Flytrap. And yeah, you're getting some more love in the chat room, Nick. This is an artist I will start following tonight. Such a great voice. Love the melody.
Awesome.
Very cool. And Jason Federson also said, I'm digging this. And we mentioned earlier you're from Dover.
Yeah.
Do you ever listen to WUNH, the college station there?
Not too much. I've actually played there once, like a few years ago now. But
At the radio station?
yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. What was it like? So you got to do, I assume it was a solo acoustic thing?
No, actually, I think I did it. I know Rainer was there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think it was more of a full band kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they must have a show there where you can set up a full band. I was just curious. My dad lives on the Seacoast and he listens to WUNH a lot.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, he likes college radio. He likes to hear new stuff. It's funny, you kind of don't expect it from somebody that age because people get to a certain point in life and they start to not everyone obviously, but a lot of people, they get to a certain point in life where they start to it's like whatever they liked when they were in high school, that's as far as they go with with their music taste. But no, not my dad. He's in his 70s. He loves hearing new music. My uncle is like that too, so maybe there's something genetic to it. But are there when you do play out, because again, there's such a great music scene on the Seacoast, are there any other artists who you team up with for shows? A lot of artists, be them solo artists or bands, I know they'll have certain other bands or solo artists who they work with a lot when it comes to live shows.
Yeah, I've played with some pretty great bands. Trying to think off the top of my head. I know I played with Missouri Pacific. They were kind of a folk band.
Oh.
That I played with once. Thinking of recent shows. Obviously, I haven't played in a few months, but who else is there? Bus Stop Hill is really great. I really like that songwriter. And he plays in a more of like a folk style band as well. That's pretty popular. They're called Sneaky Miles. You might have heard of them. I haven't played with those guys, but they're pretty great.
Yeah.
Marvel Prone I played with them recently, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have a question for you in the chat room. N. Saturn from our Greensboro, North Carolina contingent always asks some really unique questions. Hashtag Nick Rolser. You rock, we say to you from us. We say, what's your favorite Oasis song? Wonderwall or Cast No Shadow? We say, who are your influences? Hashtag Nick Rolser. So N. Saturn has given you two options for your favorite Oasis song. It can either be Wonderwall or Cast No Shadow.
I'm going to go ahead and choose a different one, and I apologize for that, but I don't listen to Oasis too much, to be honest, but I like that song, Don't Look Back in Anger. I think
that is a great song. I love Oasis. That is a great song. Absolutely. I loved Wonderwall when it came out, but it was way overplayed. N. Saturn we can always count on for some unique questions. Now, who was on that track, Venus Flytrap? Who was playing harmonica?
Me.
Oh, that was you. So how many instruments do you play? So you play guitar, you play piano?
Yeah, guitar and piano. I would say I'm most sort of formally trained, not exactly formally trained, but compared to harmonica, yes. That I sort of just picked up. I mean, I guess I just kind of picked up everything, but that was sort of just a necessity. I learned it through learning. I basically learned how to write songs through learning other people's songs, I suppose.
Yeah.
And, obviously, Bob Dylan being a big influence.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to pick up the harmonica. So, yeah.
Do you do the thing he does where do you have the harmonica in front of you? I don't know what the apparatus is called.
I do the thing. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Is that always looks cumbersome to me. Is it? Is it hard to be comfortable?
You get used to it.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do? You just kind of because you don't actually move the harmonica with your hand, right? So you just kind of lean into it and
you sort of lean into it and move your positioning of your mouth around and breathe in and out and
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it difficult to because it looks like it would be easier to just hold it, but obviously you can't because you're playing the guitar. Is it difficult to learn to do it that way?
That's the only way I learned how to do it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I never even tried. I just had to do it for, the Dylan song. So
oh, cool.
I suppose I just kind of jumped right into the hard mode. But
yeah. Do you do a lot of covers in your set?
Not too many. When I'm playing solo sets, depending on how long they are, I'll definitely throw in more covers.
Yeah.
But with the band stuff, maybe a couple here and there.
What do you when you do covers? What do you do?
One of my favorite ones that I've played it quite frequently for the past couple of years. So I might have to switch it up soon. But Radiohead Jigsaw Falling Into Place is a really fun one to do because it has the acoustic in there, and then kind of that sort of upbeat tempo to it. It gives it's a nice counterbalance to a lot of my music, which can be sort of mellow at times. So, yeah, I like playing that one a lot.
Yeah. And Saturn says, we say we love that song, Don't Look Back in Anger as well, too. # Nick.
Okay, great.
Well, there you go.
Glad I didn't upset you guys.
That's right. You don't want to upset. Well, they're very polite in Greensboro, actually. And they use a lot of hashtags.
Love it.
Everything's hashtags. As far as the business side of your music, I mean, do you have a manager or anything, or is everything DIY, or how does that work?
Mostly DIY. I don't really have a manager or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the process like in terms of getting on Spotify? Was that pretty straightforward, or?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You sort of just, you can use I don't know, there's a site called DistroKid that kind of.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you put your music on there and then they put it on like everything. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never used it, but I'm well aware of DistroKid. Absolutely. It seems like a lot of artists use it now. I mean, how's the experience of using that service? Pretty good?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I definitely have no complaints using it.
Yeah, everything I've heard is pretty positive. Do they where else do they send it other than Spotify?
You can get it on Apple Music. I think Amazon has a music streaming software.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everything, really.
Is your album, is it available on all those places as well, or?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It should be, yep.
Excellent. And we should remind people too. So we're talking with Nick Rolser, and Rolser is spelled Rolser. So if you're looking for him online, if you're looking for his music, very easy to find. Now we have our friend EZG Eric Gagnon, who I'm amazed that he hasn't called in, because every musician that I have on the show, he likes to call in and ask a very specific question, but he hasn't called in yet. So he might be tied up because he always calls by now. So I'll just go ahead and ask you on his behalf. Have you ever played in Canada?
No.
Okay. He likes to ask everybody that question. I know he'll be sad if I don't. Where have you played? Have you toured outside of New Hampshire at all, or?
Not really.
Yeah.
Kind of just stuck around in New Hampshire, Massachusetts
Yeah.
area.
Oh, okay. And Mass, you've also done some
I think
shows?
some gigs in Maine probably as well.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Have you played in Boston?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's oh wow, it's already 20 of. Let's play another song. What do you I'll let you pick again. What would you like us to play?
How about we play Projector?
Projector. Yeah, I like that one a lot. We'll go with that. Anything we should know about this before we hear it?
It's definitely one of my sort of more straightforward songs, I would say. Less kind of impressionistic in the lyrics. It's sort of just about leaving the past behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. We'll give this a listen. So this is a Projector from our guest today, Nick Rolser.
You should leave the past behind. 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 You should leave the p behind the bar. Just a connection before your protection. You refuse and choose to withdraw. Some days are better off unheard. Some days are better off unscathed. He was so tired of trying to be someone. Hard to remember from where he came. They'll take you just as you came. To break you apart. Watch out for the red hair, saying get it together and follow how you feel. We can get a projector, watch a picture together and laugh at the things that seemed real. Some days are better off unheard. Some days are better off unscathed. He was so tired of trying to be someone. Hard to remember from where he came. You should leave the past behind.
Outstanding. That is Projector from Nick Rolser, who is our guest today. And yeah, great song, Nick. Hey, listening to that too brought to mind a question. So when you're even when you're in studio, do you play the harmonica that way?
Not usually, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That would be the one. But live, you always, well, yeah, because you have to play the guitar as well.
Yeah.
So live, you always do it that way. Yeah, that's interesting. Is there harmonica on a lot of your songs?
On the first album, yes.
Okay, but not so much on the new one.
This new one, there's maybe one or two, but I'm sort of moving away from it, I guess.
Gotcha. And Saturn in the chat room says, we say hashtag Nick Rolser. We are from Greensboro, North Carolina, and we will be performing some covers of New Kids on the Block songs. We say to Mr. Rolser, they are a pop singing group of boy band in the 80s to 90s.
Yes, I am aware.
Yes, they're very, they do a lot of in Greensboro, they've got it going on with the New Kids on the Block covers.
I see.
It's,
I gotta be down there.
Yeah. Well, if you ever tour down that way, you'll have to look them up. And Saturn, I mean, not New Kids. Very good. Now, do you have any live shows coming up, or are you just
Yes.
focused on recording? Or
I actually do. I just got offered one yesterday. So that is in Boston on St. Patty's Day.
oh,
I think it's called the Square Root Brewery and Coffee Shop.
did that literally just happen that you got that booking?
Yes, a friend of mine is going to play there, so I'm going to be opening.
No, it's just funny because I asked you if you'd ever play Boston.
I know.
And
Yeah,
there you go. It's
as
fate.
soon as I said I hadn't, I forgot. I just
Oh,
remembered.
okay. Well, it's fate. It's Amore Fati. Am I saying that correctly?
That's right.
There
yeah.
you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
I love it.
So you're going to be playing there St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, St. Patty's Day.
Nice.
Square Root Brewery Coffee House.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yep. It's 8 to 11 p.m.
Now, are there other, who else is on that? Or are you doing you're not doing the full 3 hours, or are you?
No, I'll be playing the first hour. I'm opening for a band, I believe they're called Flat Stanley.
Okay.
My friend Justin Demers. So he's going to be, his band's going to, I think, be finishing the night off. I think there might be one more band in between us.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So that'll be your first time playing Boston.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Yeah, I've not heard of that venue, but so many places that have come and gone. And, something that's a common point of discussion on this show is that, it would be nice if there were more places for original music, but, and that's always been a problem. But, there's a lot of, have you ever run into that situation where you're booking a show somewhere, but they only want you to play covers like that? It's more of that kind of a venue.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just avoid those places.
Yeah. Well, of course, what you're doing too, as we talked about earlier, you have that flexibility where, you some covers, but you can do either a full band or just yourself. And so it really kind of, I would think it opens up a lot of opportunities as far as where you play. So you can afford to say no to places or avoid places that maybe don't want exactly what you would prefer to be doing. I've been in bands where we would learn some covers, but I always preferred playing originals.
Mm-hmm.
It's more satisfying creatively, and whatnot. Very cool. So you've got and do you have any other? Is that the only show you've got coming up? Is the Boston show?
Yeah, that's it for now.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Oh, our friend Miriam Banish joins us in the chat room. She says, well, I'm sad I missed the show. I had an appointment. Well, don't worry, Miriam. You'll be able to get it in the archive. It will be available shortly after we complete today's show. And speaking of which, it is late in the hour. So, Nick, what should people know about where to find you online, where to keep up with everything that you're doing and all of that good stuff?
Sure, yeah. So if you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram. Just on my name, Nick Rolser, Rolser. Same thing with Facebook. I have a music page. I'm on Spotify and all the streaming services. And that's pretty much it, really.
Excellent. Any? By the way, do you have any live performances online on YouTube or anything? If somebody wants to.
Not currently.
Not currently. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, Nick, thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
Thank you.
And love what you're doing. And I'm very glad that Jenny booked you for today's show. This has been great. And I will let you pick. What would you like us to close with today for a song? Let's
play "Child of the World" if you have that one.
Oh, yes. I like that one very much. I like all of them, but that one and "Crashing" are the two that really jumped out to me the most.
Oh, cool.
Now I just have to. Why can't I find it? I know it's here because I just saw it. "Child of the World." How to search for it this way. And we will leave you with this. Nick, thank you again. This is Nick Rolser, "Child of the World."
World without any sense of control. They built got you up and then gave you your own heavy load. So now you run around like that chicken you are, head on your shoulders, you don't like to look far. You drive by the beach one night, look at the stars, and suddenly you feel it. It's been so in your face, you could hardly let it all in. Just a warm embrace, like the one that your mother would give when you were a child, a child. When you were a child of the world. Stuck in my house, just sitting here, wishing it might burn. The lights are all low and now winter has taken its turn. But I've waited my time, now's the time to choose. I gave up everything, so there's nothing to lose. You played the part well and forgot who you are. Now suddenly you remember. It's been so in your face, you could hardly let it all in. Just a warm embrace, like the one that your mother would give when you were a child, a child. When you were a child of the world. You're hell-bent on having your own private heaven on earth. The truth has been lying and living through all of your words. And underneath faces plagued by disguise, a peace like a river sees to your demise. Just look in the mirror and deep in your eyes. You know I've always been here. It's been so in your face, you could hardly let it all in. Just a warm embrace, like the one that your mother would give when you were a child, a child.